While there are many things that we cannot change, the biggest impact we can have on our weight is to make long-term behavior changes. Losing just 5 to 10% of your body weight can have positive health effects and can decrease your risk factors for chronic conditions related to obesity. As we learned, there are many factors that contribute to overweight and obesity. The most effective strategy to lose and maintain a healthy weight is to make long-term behavior changes to reduce caloric intake and increase caloric expenditure. Aligning these behaviors to manage your weight is called energy balance. This means that if you consume more calories than you burn, you will gain weight, and if you burn more calories than you consume, you will lose weight. Your weight will stay the same if you consume the same amount of calories as you burn. Remember, it takes a 3,500 calorie deficit to lose 1 pound. Not all diets work the same for everybody. When you are trying to shift your energy balance, focus on calories, food quality, and lifestyle. We will review some popular diets to help you decide how you can make long-lasting changes for your health. Research supports the use of the DASH diet as a healthy eating pattern that may help to lower blood pressure and prevent or reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, kidney disease, and gout. However, the DASH diet can be hard to follow for some because it requires meal planning ahead of time and does not provide comprehensive guidance. Individuals with celiac disease must maintain a strict gluten-free diet and are often found to have inadequate intakes of fiber, iron, and calcium. Those who do not have celiac and restrict their gluten intake are likely to limit their intake of whole grains, which may increase their risk of heart disease compared with those who have higher intakes of gluten. Many studies have found that people with at least 2 to 3 servings of whole grains, compared with individuals eating less than 2 servings daily, had significantly lower risk of heart disease and stroke, type 2 diabetes, and deaths from all causes. Gluten may act as a prebiotic, feeding the good bacteria in our bodies. A change in the amount or activity of these bacteria has been associated with gastrointestinal diseases, including inflammatory bowel disease, colorectal cancer, and irritable bowel syndrome. There is currently no evidence showing that a gluten-free diet is effective for weight loss or for general health benefits. For individuals who don't have celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, there is no need to restrict gluten consumption. A healthy dietary pattern typically includes higher amounts of whole grains and lower amounts of refined grains and added sugar. Intermittent fasting is a diet regimen that cycles between brief periods of fasting with either no food or significant calorie reduction and periods of unrestricted eating. The most common methods are alternate day fasting, where you alternate between days of no food restriction with days that consist of one meal that provides about 25% of daily calorie needs. For example, you fast on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and have no food restrictions on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Whole day fasting is where you engage in 1 to 2 days per week of complete fasting or up to 25% of calorie needs, with no daily restriction on the other days. For example, the 5-2 diet approach advocates no food restriction 5 days of the week, cycled with a 400 to 500 calorie diet the other 2 days of the week. And finally, the time-restricted feeding, where you follow a meal plan each day with a designated time frame for fasting, such as you eat between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. and fast during the remaining hours of the day. The jury is still out on intermittent fasting. There are no conclusive studies that demonstrate significant weight loss. The ketogenic or keto diet is a low-carbohydrate, fat-rich eating plan that has been used for centuries to treat specific medical conditions. In the 19th century, the keto diet was commonly used to help control diabetes. In 1920, it was introduced as an effective treatment for epilepsy in children in whom medication was ineffective. The keto diet has also been tested and used in closely monitored settings for cancer, diabetes, polycystic ovary syndrome, and Alzheimer's disease. The ketogenic diet focuses on moderate intakes of protein and high intakes of fat. More studies need to be conducted to confirm long-term benefits. However, some health benefits have been seen in short-term studies. It is recommended that people who follow a keto diet and remove whole food groups from their diet should do so under a doctor's care. The Mediterranean diet is a primarily plant-based eating plan that includes daily intake of whole grains, olive oil, fruits, vegetables, beans and other legumes, nuts, herbs, and spices. Other foods like animal proteins are eaten in smaller quantities, with the preferred animal protein being fish and seafood. Research supports the use of the Mediterranean diet as a healthy eating pattern for the prevention of cardiovascular diseases, increasing lifespan, and healthy aging. When used in conjunction with caloric restriction, the diet may also support healthy weight loss. The paleo diet, also referred to as the caveman or Stone Age diet, includes lean meats, fish, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, suggesting that individuals eat only foods that were available at that time in history. Proponents of the diet emphasize choosing low glycemic fruits and vegetables. The paleo diet includes nutrient-dense, whole fresh foods and encourages participants to steer away from highly processed foods containing added salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats. However, the omission of whole grains, dairy, and legumes could lead to suboptimal intake of important nutrients. The restrictive nature of the diet may also make it difficult for people to adhere to such a diet in the long run. Currently, there is not sufficient research to make strong recommendations for the paleo diet for weight loss. The Weight Watchers system guides individuals toward an overall eating pattern that is lower in calories, saturated fat and sugar, and higher in protein, and encourages the intake of healthy whole foods. According to Weight Watchers, these foods help lay a foundation for a healthier pattern of eating with a low risk for overeating. The Weight Watchers diet is frequently ranked as one of the best weight loss diets available. Ornish categorizes food into 5 groups, from most, Group 1, to least, Group 5, healthful. It's the difference, for example, between whole grain bread and biscuits, between soy hot dogs and pork or beef. Ornish applies these spectrums to a host of common health problems, dedicating chapters to losing weight, lowering cholesterol and blood pressure, preventing and reversing type 2 diabetes and heart disease, and preventing and treating prostate and breast cancers. The Ornish diet often gets a nod for best heart-healthy diet. Flexitarian is a marriage of 2 words, flexible and vegetarian. Flexitarian meals revolve around plant proteins rather than animal proteins, but can include limited unprocessed meat products. The focus is on new meat such as tofu, beans, lentils, peas, nuts and seeds, and eggs. There are no specific rules or suggestions, so therefore it's hard to assess. There is limited research that suggests that it has positive effects on weight loss, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. It also supports sustainable agriculture and helps to preserve natural resources by decreasing greenhouse gas emissions as well as land and water use. If you didn't already know, managing your weight is just complicated. We learned that our genetics and our environment can play a significant role. It is also important to consider our behaviors that affect our body weight. Remember energy balance. The calories that you consume minus the calories that you expend equals what you save, our storage fat. And this is usually stored exactly where we don't want it.